Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, everyone. Today is January 16th, 2022. Today I'm going to be looking at three stocks that I'm bullish on going into next week. We do have a shortened week and the market is closed tomorrow. But as you guys can see here, we do have the S&P 500 chart here. And I am going to discuss some targets going into next week and what my feelings are with regards to where we can end up in a bullish case scenario and in a bearish case scenario. But before we get started, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and also please subscribe to the channel as we do release videos every single week. And if you are interested in trading with us at Wealthy Mentor Trading, we do have a Discord channel that we do have a promo on sale right now for 99 bucks for 2 months, and that entails options trading, swing trading, watch lists, along with daily watch lists that are updated every single day before market open, along with breaking news and analyst upgrades and the whole 9 yards. So if you are interested in trading or learning how to trade, it's definitely a good opportunity for you to get in, especially at this promo price. Okay, the link is in the description for that. But as I said, we do have the S&P 500 chart open here, and just looking back at how we started the month, right? We did have that all-time highs 48.18 area, and then the whole Fed meeting came out and we were pretty bearish, especially with the whole interest rate hike thing, and it did spook the market, right? And we did close off that week around that 4680 to $4,700 area. And I was looking at this 4,700 psychological resistance to break that and create that trend change. And unfortunately, we did not get that. Opening up Monday on weakness, we did have a gap down here, as you guys can see, breaking below 4680 and pretty much holding that 4600 support level, right? We did bounce here, testing all the way to 4750, which coincides with the strong volume that we had on the sell-off on the Fed meeting. Unfortunately, we weren't able to break that, right? We did push down between that 4730 and 4720 zone. And unfortunately, we created a lower high, unable to even reach that 4750 area to test it once more. And again, we did fall down on weakness before closing out Friday's session just below that 4680 area. Okay. Now, overall, I do want to see that 4750 area break, and that's what I'm going to be looking at next week. To me, that is an area where that creates that momentum and that trend change to get past that 4700 mark and basically go for those all-time highs around that 4800 area. Now, most of the sell-off and weakness has come from two of the sectors, and that being QQQ, which is a technology sector, and SMH, which is the semiconductor sector. And both those sectors also received a pullback. Now, a lot of these names that are part of the tech sector and semiconductor sector have received multiple pullbacks due to the whole bubble pop. And, a lot of these names did go up in astronomical figures and now are receiving all these bearish downgrades by analysts. And now we're seeing the result of that, right? We're having some stagnant price action and bearish volume in this past few weeks. And we're going to continue receiving some of that action as long as what's called QQQ and semiconductor sector show weakness, right? So those two sectors are two names you should be looking at to see if there is a market reversal and a healthy market condition, right? You want all these sectors to move in correlation to each other and so it can move higher. So right now, the two weak sectors are semiconductor sector, SMH, and QQQ, right? I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame to give you guys another scenario that I saw, and to me it looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Right here we are on the 4-hour time frame, and as I mentioned here, right, we are looking at that 4750 area for a breakout. Here is one shoulder right here dropping down at that 4530 area, and here's the head here also at all-time highs, and here we are forming that second shoulder at that 4750 area and below. So going into next week, if we do not get that break above 4750 or even 4700, right, we are pretty much going to be going down and testing that 4600 area. And if we cannot hold that, we pretty much are in that scenario that it is a head and shoulders pattern and we're going to break lower, right? I could see us dropping all the way down to that 45.30 area or even 45.20, right? And if we can't hold that, we're pretty much testing these lows right here at that 4,500 mark. So guys, if we do have an off week in the S&P 500 and we do have a lot of financial names reporting their earnings, so financial sector has held together, and that could be the last leg for the market altogether to pull back. So as I mentioned, two sectors have really shown their weakness, and if the financial sector goes into next week and their earnings bomb, we could pretty much see this head and shoulders pattern play out on the S&P 500. Okay, guys? But first things first, like I said, on the 30-minute chart, I am looking for that break above that 47.50 area, but most importantly, first things first, 4,700 going into early next week, right? We did have a little bit of sideways action here, and it was the drop down to start off the week. So 4,700 is an area for me. We could see a bit of a consolidation around that and then pop off to test this area of 47.50. Now, if we do have obviously all sectors moving in correlation, we're going to see a break above 47.50. All right, guys, that's my thoughts. I am in a wait and see approach, but if I was to tell you guys my personal opinion, it would be a break above 47.50 if you want to really get excited about the market. But right now, it's kind of a neutral zone. Okay, so going forward, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I do have 3 stocks that I'm bullish on going into tomorrow. I should say Tuesday, as tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day and the markets are closed, right? So the first name that I have on my list is QCOM. Qualcomm is the name, and I am going to zoom in here on the weekly time frame just to give you guys a quick look of how the stock itself looks overall. And as you guys can see here, right, this is the weekly time frame, and we are in a bull flag formation. Now, this is one of those names that has held strong during this market pullback, especially with the semiconductor sector, this name being a strong one, right? It did gain 6% on the week, and it has remained strong throughout this whole pullback. So it's significant to me. The technicals on the weekly showing that bull flag, as I said, and I am looking for a break above that 194 area for a blue sky breakout, right? So switching over to the 30-minute chart, as you guys can see here, we did hold 173.5 as support last week. And to me, that was bullish, creating this nice V-shaped correction, right? We did close off Friday's session just below 190. So to me, going into tomorrow, I am looking for a break above 190 for potential take profits at that 190, 150, right? I am an options trader, and that's what my specialties are. So if break above 190, 190, 150 is my first take profit area. And my second take profit area would be a test of all-time highs at 193.50. Now, if you want to be a safer trader and don't want to get, mixed up into this chop right here, I would suggest entering above that 194 area for potential take profits at 195 and psychological resistance at 200. Like as I said, QCOM has been one of those names that has held strong, especially with the semiconductor pulling back. So it's definitely one of those names you should be looking at. Also, it did receive an analyst upgrade from KeyBanc, which is a street high for $220. So keep this name on your watch list moving forward. And especially if SMH can push higher, this name can also move higher as well, right? So the semiconductor sector is major, and this name being one of the big ones in there. Okay, so another name that I'm going to be looking at going into next week that I am bullish on is TSM, right? Here is the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer, right? So if you guys know anything about Apple or NVIDIA, this is one of those names that's tied into there, right? And as you guys can see here, we do have all-time highs at that 145 mark. And this name has actually gained 14% on the week, and it did close bullish, right? All-time highs, 145. We just closed beneath that, around that 141 area. So overall, this is one of the largest chip makers, and it plans to spend around $44 billion in 2022 to expand its capacity. The expansion is due to the high demand for advanced chips and AI and 5G driven applications. So to me, it's one of those names that definitely deserves to be looked at, especially since it's trending at all-time highs. So I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour chart. And as you guys can see here, right, it has been pretty bullish. And I am looking for a break above that 145 area. I do have take profits at 150 and 152 would be my second take profit area on a bullish case. I am going to draw that right here. And, I do like that 150 area just because stocks do tend to move in round numbers, and it is one of those psychological resistance zones, right? So, but going into tomorrow, the first thing that I'm going to be looking at as an options trader is that 142 mark, right? We did wick up here and got rejected, and we also have price action below that 142 area. So a break above 142, along with the semiconductor sector itself, SMH pushing higher, and healthy market conditions, we're definitely going to hit that 145 target, right? So that would be my first target as an options trader, and my second target would be that 150 if we break higher overall. Now, if you are a safer trader and you want to be, I guess you could say, a little more sure, right, about your entry, definitely look above 145 for that blue sky breakout. Look for volume confirmation and also look for healthy market conditions. As I said, this stock did move up 14% on the week, so that is pretty big, and it looks bullish just by the looks of the chart. All right, so keep this name in mind for a break above that 145 zone. Overall, we do have support at that 135 area as we did bounce from here, creating that big volume stick right here. As you guys can see, buyers stepped in, and it did also support. 136 is support. It was previous resistance right here on this wick. So previous resistance, obviously you guys know, as I mentioned it before, is support. So 136, if we do receive a pullback, look out for that area. It could be a great buying opportunity if you see bulls stepping in. Look for volume confirmation, of course. Okay. And the last name I'm going to be looking at the short week is Ford. And the ticker for that is F. Very simple. You can't forget it. And to me, Ford is very bullish, right? It's one of those names that broke out of this consolidation ever since we've been in back on September 2021. We finally broke out right here on January 2022. So it's been on a rip ever since the year started, right? It's at all-time highs, gaining 19% this month alone. And most of this price action and this bullish price action from Ford has come from its sales from China. It did gain almost 12% in 2021. And, from a technical standpoint, I am looking for a break above that $26 area as we do have all-time highs here at 25.86, right? We also have analyst upgrades, a street high analyst upgrade from Argus Research, and they do have a $29 target, right? So to me, that is my main target going into next week and moving forward, right? First things first, I want to see a break above $26, right? I am going to draw that here above $26, and my first take profit area would be that $28 mark, right? And my second take profit would be that $29 area. I'm also going to be looking at $30 because I said stocks do tend to move in round numbers, and that is a nice big psychological number for Ford. Now, overall, we do have some bearish analysts that have downgraded the stock, but that really didn't stop Ford from, moving higher this month. As I said, it did gain 19%, and its sales in China have been booming. So going into tomorrow, look for that break above $26 and also keep an eye out for other analysts to jump on the bandwagon for Ford, especially with their whole EV sector booming, and it is the latest trend, and Ford is one of those stocks that's pretty affordable for a lot of people out there. A lot of times people want to get into the EV sector and they look at Tesla and their mindset is that it's just too much to afford, right? It's too much. It's $1,000 a share and they can't afford it. So a lot of times people will look at names like Ford because they see a smaller price point. So it is an excellent opportunity to kind of ride the wave on an upcoming name, especially that's been joining the EV sector. And obviously Ford has a long history, right? So it ain't going anywhere. So definitely look at Ford above $26. like I said, analysts do have a street high target of $29 going in. Now, to the downside, let's just say we have a tough week and it pulls back, or there's an analyst downgrade. We do have that 2350 area where we have bounced off once, two times right here at that zone right here. So 2350 is an area for me to potentially bounce from, right? And it's also a great buying opportunity on a pullback, right? So if you are one of those people that likes to buy on a pullback, look for that 2350 and $23 area as a key bounce zone, okay? Now, if you are a breakout trader such as myself, I do want to see a break above $26 for a test of, a blue sky breakout and let it run. All right, guys, so those are three stocks that I am bullish on. Ford, as I mentioned, it's gained 19% on the month. TSM, 14% gain just last week alone, right? It does plan to spend $44 billion in 2022 and expand. So that's a big number. Names like Apple and Nvidia definitely benefit from that because they're in correlation to it, right? Also, QCOM, one of those semiconductor names that has held strong during the market pullback, especially since semiconductor sector SMH has been weak. For it to be holding that 190 area, to me, that's very bullish. So keep those three names in mind, guys, going into Tuesday, right? Monday, the market is closed for Martin Luther King Day. So three names: QCOM, TSM, Ford, and watch out for those financial earnings, right? If we boom on that, look for a break above 47.50. If we can't, look for that whole head and shoulders pattern on the S&P 500 to play out, and we drop down to that $4,500 area. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Also, if you are interested in trading with us, don't be shy and hit that subscribe button on our channel. Also, the description does have the link to take you to the checkout page where we do have that promo for $99 to trade with us. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck trading. Bye-bye.